Hey guys, so I know a lot of you have been telling me you guys can't afford those expensive VSTs or contact banks. Maybe you're even struggling with sound selection or whatever. Then I would pretty much advise you guys to stick with some one-shots or free plugins. Now me personally, I've actually just finished my new Imperial one-shot kit. It's actually got some super nice sounds. Some of them actually have a lot of effects, while some of the other ones are pretty clean. So you can pretty much play around with the sounds however you guys like. So now I'm actually just working on some samples for the pack that you guys can use. So I pretty much just want to use sounds only from the one-shot kit to make these samples. So I'm not going to use some other VSTs to complement these samples. It's going to contain only the sounds from the kit. So I thought I might as well show you guys how you can make some insane sounding samples using only one-shots. So let's just get to it. Alright, so we're here in FL. First things first, we're just going to bump the BPM down to about 125. And here's my one-shot kit. Now by the time you guys are watching this, the kit is going to be up on my website and the samples are going to be included as well. But I feel like going to these bells right here. I think I'm going to use this lost bell right here. So you just want to drag it into your channel rack. And now with one shots, you want to change up these settings a bit. So I'm just going to turn off loop points and load regions. Then you want to go into mode right here and just make sure it's on stretch. Then click on this envelope tab right here. And for the envelope, I've seen a lot of people use different types of envelopes. But me personally, I just turn the attack almost all the way down. Make sure it's not completely off because then you can have some clicking noises. So I'm just keeping it at about 4%. Turn the hold all the way up, the K all the way down, and sustain as well. Then just play around with the release. Now for the key, I'm just going to be in C minor, and we can start off with a nice simple C minor chord. We can invert the middle one and pitch it down by 1. Then we can just strum it out a little bit so it has some movement. So with bells, you actually want to have a little bit of a repetitive pattern. So I'm just going to copy this over and maybe adjust some of the notes just slightly. So I'm actually just going to take this one up and this one down. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Now this is one of the more drier sounds, so we definitely want to add some effects to this bell. First things first, just some roam right here. Then we have this crystal choir preset in effect rack. It gives it a super spacey sound. Let's add some RC20 as well. Click the stereo button right here and turn this one a bit down. Now a super cool trick you guys can do for the effects is to find some sort of glitchy effect that you guys like. So I've just chosen this Hills preset in Portal, and I'm actually going to go to this mixture channel right here, turn this completely off, and then just right click on it and hit create automation clip. And I actually only want to have it playing on this second part of the pattern, so we can have it like this and see how it sounds. You can hear how the second part has this kind of glitchy effect. And lastly, for the effects, I'm just going to add this tape saturation, some fresh air just to give it a bit of color. And lastly, some EQ right here just to shapen out the sound how we want it. Right, so I quickly just rendered this out to a WAV file. Now I think we definitely want to fill out the low end for this one. So again, I'm going to go into my one-shot kit and just click on basses. Now down here I have some sub basses, and I'm going to use this stash sub bass that I actually also have in my drum kit. It's pretty much a go-to sub bass for me. So we're just going to drag it in. This time just turn off loop points and click cut self, as well as we again want to make a squared envelope like this. And this is pretty much the only sound that is not tuned to C. So we just want to right click on this D sharp right here. Now the bass is super simple. Just follow the root notes of the bell we made earlier. Now let's add a little bit of a counter melody to that bell. So I'm going to go into my guitars this time, and I'm just going to use this cafe guitar we have. Now for a counter melody, I want to make it a little bit unique. So I'm going to go into this magnet tool and hit third beat right here. Then I pretty much just want to make a triplet right here before the chord switches. So for the guitar, I'm actually just going to route it to the exact same effects we have for the bell. So I'm just going to click it on this second channel rack right here and see how it sounds now. Yeah, it blends in way better. Right, so the sample is starting to come together, but I actually want to add another counter melody when the guitar is not playing. So for that one, I'm actually going to find a nice sounding flute. So I actually have a few flutes in my one-shot kit, but I've actually added some flute phrases I've messed with as well. And I think this number 3 right here is going to fit perfectly to this one. So we're just going to drag this one over right here. Now, since the BPM is 120 for this, we actually want to time stretch it so it fits correctly right here. Now, since this phrase is in 120, we actually want to time stretch it so it fits to the sample. And then just make sure to hit stretch on this mode right here. Fits perfectly to the sample. Now the last thing we're going to add to the sample is just a few textures. So I'm going to go into the textures right here and just find one that sounds nice. So I'm going to use this forest texture and just drag it in. Make sure to time stretch this one correctly as well. Alright, so that's pretty much the sample. Now we can actually just play a little bit around with the pitch of the sample just to see what sounds nice. And then I actually also feel like laying some drums over it just to see if we can catch a nice bounce to the sample. Yeah, I like when it's pitched down by 3. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for this pitch right here. Now, as for the drums I'm using, they're all coming from my No Limit drum kit. So if you want to use the same drum sounds as well, you can go check that out too. Let me start off with this open hat right here. And also this phone clap. Just some quick hi-hats over this. Let's play around with some rims and perks too. I think it's time for the kick and the 808. So I feel like going for this radio 808 right here. It just slaps, bro. Oof. Let's hear this. Yeah, that's it. Let me just layer that first hit with the kick. Makes it hit harder. So before I structure out the beat, make sure you guys go check out the Imperial one-shot kit. Like I said, it's got over 200 sounds and they sound super clean. It's definitely cheaper than going for all the crazy expensive VSTs and plugins. So you can just go onto my website, it's BBMarko.com. Of course, it's linked down below. Besides that, I thank you guys so much for watching, and here's the full beat.
Shut up, Marko. Marko?